Hello there everyone. It has been several weeks since Blood Bowl Season 7 has reached its conclusion, and now it is time for Season 8 to finally begin. And as part of the ambition to make this season the best one yet, as we inch ever closer to the release of Blood Bowl 3, I am going to be your host for this return to the weekly recap of the season, where every week we are going to be going over every match as they play out and look at the possible future matchups as the season progresses to see what are the possible highlights and what kind of blood that can be expected for this ever so violent game of Blood Bowl. And already, the first week is already concluded, but in the off chance that you are new to the YouTuber League or may not have been aware of the season starting to begin with, we are going to quickly go through every single team, quickly have a look at their rosters, and then talk about their first round matchups. First up, we have the Dwarves in the Mini SOA, coached by Sergeant Grimm. Next up, we have a returning coach in Formal who has been absent from the YouTuber League for a while, and they are coming back into the league with the Dark Elf team, the Nuclear Winters. Third, we have a brand new coach to the roster who apparently is proclaiming himself as the worst coach. That remains to be seen, but nonetheless, they are coaching the Necromantic team, the Greatest Cage. Next up, we have the Reichland All Elite being coached by another brand new member of the YouTuber League. It is Galentio. I am hoping I am pronouncing that properly. Next up, making a return back to the Elven team after bashing around with Orcs last season, is Romkey McScumbag, and he is coaching the High Elf team, the Slaaneshi Elves. Moving on to our Dirty Underworld players, we have the Jailhouse Rockers being coached by Black Templar. The Lizardmen are making a return for this season as they were not present for Season 7. We have How Not to Contain Lizards being coached by Marbug, or is known in the Discord channel as Pirate Joe. Our next team is anything but fluffy as the Green Orcs are taken to the field being coached by Swen. Next we move on back over to Lustria with a very peculiar team name in the Leg Lickers being coached by CJ Sist, also known as Caveman in the Discord channel. Roger Def is bringing in the big weaponry this time as he switches over from Kislev to coach the Traitorous Legion, the Chaos Dwarf team. Next, we have the runner-up to Season 7, Blonde Cow, in coaching the Bosses of Sauces, the Ogre team. The Outworn Ideas is going to be our next team for the season. The Khemris are being coached by Bright Ops. Our next Elven team is sure to bring a lot of blood and violence into this season, as we have the Fragile Blood Marks, coached by Gladiator. The Bouncing Warriors are going to be our next Kislev team, although their coach has mysteriously vanished and it is rumored that an ogre may have eaten him. And to represent our last two teams to the season, we have the Godlike Puns being coached by former Elven winner Molt. And finally we have Omega Eta Alpha, the Undead team being coached by Scythe. With 16 teams to the season, we're going to have ourselves another mega season with all the teams facing off against each other in a nice round robin format. We're going to be going for about 15 weeks, and that's going to bring us plenty of bloodshed for the foreseeable months to come. So let's get started with the first week roundups. Our first matchup to kick off the season, we have Omega Eta Alpha versus the Leg Lickers. This match started off explosively as Bluto, one of the undead team's frontline mummies, has the awareness somehow to try and catch the ball. This turn of events leads to Scythe playing very aggressively into the Amazon's lines, who have no real means to pry the ball from the hulking cadaver. This tactic, however, is short-lived though, for with one good tackle upon a dodging ghoul, opens up a nice window in the cage for Bluto to get surrounded and knocked down to size, giving the leg-obsessed Amazons the momentum they need to strike back. Although with a very early injury and player out for a drive, the Alpha Undead are able to knock the ball off the pitch, which the fans, obsessed to see a big guy score a touchdown, toss the ball down to the field to the ambitious Bluto to pick it up. However, The fans are left disappointed as Bluto just was not able to bend down far enough to receive the ball and get the score. Moving into the second half at 0-0, the Omega Alpha managed to set up a perfect defense on the kickoff, but a critical opening in the formation allowed Caveman's team to break a hole in the formation and make a blitz down through the field. The strategy was performed flawlessly, as even the ladies were able to stall out the clock before being forced to finally score, but not before their blitzer loses her life to a botched apothecary treatment. Despite the setback, however, the casualties are starting to pile up for our female players, and even with a few shots at Frank the Tank, the Ghoul carrying the ball, only 5 players for the Leg Lickers are still standing by the end of the half, as Sife's team manages to tie up the match. Our second match, starting off the round, we have the Fluffy Orcs going up against the Treacherous Legion. As all high armor bash games go, this was a slow-paced match as nearly all the players were tied up along the line of scrimmage throughout the first half. The Hobgoblins managed to even stay on the field despite their inability to take the hits well. But with much of the fighting near the sidelines, first blood was ultimately in the hands of the bloodthirsty crowd.
You don't have a big... Oh my god. No SPP gained, but fuck me, it starts already.
Entering the second half with no touchdown on the board, the Legion had to play defensive with a blocker down. This lack of extra strength on the line starts to form a crack in the Dwarven's defense, made only more apparent once their bull centaur Lubu gets taken off the field.
I don't get it. Did he never learn? You do not pursue Lubu. Well, that could have been better. That really could have been better.
Making a break through this opening, the Orcs stall out the rest of the clock, while continuing to beat the Dwarfs down to a pulp. In the end, the Fluffy Orcs win the match 1-0, with the Treacherous Legion's coach looking to replacing his players after their abysmal performance. Our next match is the match of powerhouses as How Not to Contain Lizards went up against the Bosses of Sauce. Both teams sized each other up for the kickoff of the match, and with the Lizards gaining the offensive for the first half, they put everything into keeping the Ogres in line. This, however, had the side effect of having no players trying to secure the ball, and this saw the Snotlings sneaky by the Lizard lines to make a play for the ball. The Lizards tried repeatedly to secure the ball afterwards, but turn after turn, block after block, the expendable players easily made up for the Ogres' inability to fight back, while only suffering a single casualty throughout the first half. In the second half though, after being pushed around all game long, we start to see the damage the attrition has caused to the Bosses of Sauce. As the uncontained Lizards snap forwardly aggressively for a blitz on the ball, the worn down players of Blancow's team rapidly fall to their blows, and with a fractured leg on Ranch, forcing him to miss the next game to recover, we see Pirate Joe ultimately secure the match with a 1-0 victory.
Well, good game. This was awful.
Good game. This was awful. If it's awful, I don't think that's a good game.
Nah, that's just Blood Bowl.
This has been a very. This has definitely been a violent match. I'm very upset about Ivana, though.
Elves on this bitch. Look at all the elves everywhere.
Yeah.
In a battle of High Elves versus Elven Union, our fourth match of the week is sure to be our standout game, as we get a much more tactical kind of Blood Bowl. With a rainstorm blowing through on kickoff, we start the match with lineman Han Dolding catching the ball in the line of scrimmage. This turn of event weakens the worshippers of Slaanesh aggressive play, as Gladiator happily capitalizes on this with lowly fouling and managing to claim an early injury on one of the High Elves' valuable blitzers. The rest of the first half plays out as you would expect, however, with the High Elves eventually gaining the opening they need to secure a 1-0 lead by the end of the first half. The Bloodmarks, now on the offensive, try for a sideline cage, aiming for a very quick score to tie it up. But with their players too spread out, even with the advantage of a quick snap, the rest of the half quickly becomes a scramble for the ball as the Union's catcher gets thrown into his adoring fans. This doesn't stop the aggression, however, as the Bloodmarks continue to take out players despite their fragile nature. And eventually, the other Slaaneshi blitzer, Fornus Cathion, is taken off the field with a broken neck.
Pow. It's only bows.
Yeah, Pals have been doing really well for me so far.
Definitely. Oh, an
Oh,
arm
he's
break.
dead!
Oh, that sucks. Well, Fornication.
Can the Apothecary
This is
save
worse.
him?
Uh,
Oh, no, he's dead! He's dead!
Well, he was the only one source of SPP on my game. Oh well, it's fine. I'll keep the broken neck for now and see what happens. If I lose more
Ugh.
players, it's important to keep him around, maybe.
Agidown,
Yeah.
yeah, that is definitely a dead player.
Even with the numbers advantage, the fight to secure the ball drags out for the rest of the half until in the final minutes of the match, Chip manages to escape with the ball and hand it off to Blitzer Kaplunk to tie it up 1-1.
That's it. Can he now?
Where's he going?
Oh, what the?
Where's he
what-
going?
What the fuck are you doing?
Yes!
Gets it.
Oh my gosh, this game is so
Oh,
stressful.
Damn it. I would have been fine with this game if it was a win, but this is like a Pyrrhic tie now.
Oh man.
No, it's not even a tie anymore. This is a loss for me.
Match 5 with the two human teams of the Reichland All Elite and the Bouncing Warriors is not one worth mentioning, for with the Kislev coach's mysterious disappearance, the defenders against the Frozen North just fell apart to the advance of the humans, resulting in a 5-0 victory for Sigmar. Norse vs Necromantic was a chaotic mess as the godlike puns went up against the greatest cage. Fans and players alike were getting equal shares of the violence, thanks to the heavy amount of frenzy that was on the field. It did not matter if it was zombies, Ulfwerners, or werewolves. Nearly everyone got intimate with the fans for this match. In fact, it was so chaotic with all the fighting on the sidelines that no one saw the godlike's runner score the first touchdown, as he just casually ran in for the 1-0 lead. With a satisfied fan throwing a rock to signal the second half, the game became much more of a traditional slugfest brawl. For all it took was a chance sack of the werewolf runner for a massive scramble for the ball. It was hard fought, but eventually, like his namesake, Gone in 60 seconds finds an opening to secure the ball and blitzes down the field to tie the game up. The gods of puns were able to keep casualties to a minimum, but one of the linemen will be out next game with a broken neck. Our 7th match pits the old grudges of dwarves and elves on the field as the mini SOA faces off against the Nuclear Winters. It was a rough start for both teams, as both coaches were away from the league for a time, and you can see it on the field as the match plays on. Players stumbled with their punches, some even falling to their own blows, which ultimately saw the Elven team in a head-on brawl with the dwarves. Normally this is ill omen for anyone facing the dwarves, but the frigid winter continued to rage on, and with a little help from the fans, saw a touchdown from the witch elf Snow White, with only a single casualty by the end of the first half. With the second half, the two teams had gotten the rust out of their armor as the slugfest continued on for the remainder of the game. With the elves greeting the Sons of Anarchy back, some bold plays were required to tie up the game as Tig makes it to the touchdown line in the final minutes of the game.
Oh, shit. He actually got it. Damn. That was the luckiest thing I've seen.
To finish off our recap, we have the match of the week and also the match to start off the season with the Jailhouse Rockers going up against the Outworn Ideas. This was a spectacle of a match, for not only did we see multiple deaths and injuries, but we've also seen goblins perform like elves. The Khemri team used their superior muscle to pin down the Underworld team very easily throughout the start of the match, setting up for a quick touchdown, or at least as quick a touchdown as a team of dead Desert Kings can score. However, with all the petty cash the Jailhouse Rockers were able to use, they were relying heavily on hiring Dribblesnot to turn the tide, and the fans were not disappointed in what the explosive goblin had to offer.
Damn it.
God
Damn it.
damn!
Are you kidding me? I can't help, and I lost a blitzer.
Hell, that. Fuck.
Shit.
Sorry, just. Yeah, I know swearing probably not a great thing, but damn.
After pressing their advantage brought by bribing Dribblesnot, the undead team were inches away from scoring, until disaster struck and one of the Skaven line rats was able to get a jump on Miasma.
No. Yes.
Damn it! No.
No.
After that, it was all downhill for the Outworn Ideas.
Go for little goblin.
Holy
crap.
As Grand Theft makes a long bomb to Juvenile and succeeds to stall out the rest of the first half before touching down.
Holy crap.
Holy.
Holy.
This fault. That moment where I decided on sending the skeleton to go assist with the troll, I debated putting him in front of Juvenile there solely because to stop something like that from happening. But then I thought, oh no, they're stunty goblins. They can't throw for shit.
After such a score in the first half, the Rockers may be in high spirits, but they are rapidly getting lower in the player count after losing several players in the first half. And with a perfect kickoff for the Khemri, the Undead Kings continue pressing an aggressive advance. Lightning certainly did not strike twice here, for the Outworn Ideas managed to quickly steal the ball and tie the game at 1-1.
Damn it.
Well, what can you say? The world changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
No. Oh no. Oh, come on. Looks like I'm going to be able to get two. I'm going to need 2 new blitzers. God damn.
Oh.
He gets away with it.
Well, he's alive. Alright, now comes the fun bit.
Good grief.
And he succeeded!
What is this BS?
What is this game?
This is going to be the biggest...
This is the start of... Yeah, this is the...
This is going to be the biggest horse shit I've seen in this match.
On the second kickoff to the Rockers, remember how I said lightning didn't strike twice for the Underworld denizens? Well, I lied.
Okay.
Alright, fair tactic. Fair tactic, you can't fault you for this one. Let's see how it goes.
He made it.
Yeah.
Holy
God
crap.
damn. It's just going. Good lord.
What the... Right, I have guaranteed now a draw no matter what happens now.
Juvenile, with the aid of First Degree, was able to rapidly counter with an incredibly bold one-turn touchdown. Now, with only 4 turns left until the match, the Outworn Ideas have a chance to bring it to a tie once again, and with the Underworld team falling back in a passive formation, the odds are looking good. But With the slow nature of their team and psychomotor patterning entrusted to secure the ball over the 2 Blitzras, the coach decides to try a desperate pass to secure the tie.
Biggest surprises I've seen.
Alright, let's give it a shot.
No. Oh, could I? Could I?
It sadly fails, and we are seeing the Jailhouse Rockers pulling a surprise upset at 2-1. Although it cost the team very heavily, with one of the Goblin linemen dead, and the loss of both Blitzers for the next match. So that is the result of the matches for the first week to kick off the season. With at least 18 injuries already and 8 fatalities minimum, things are only going to get more violent from here on out as we move on to the second week of matches, starting with the reformed Traitorous Legions, now named the Cursed Suffering, as they face off against the Omega Eta Alpha. The undead are relying heavily on the mummies to hold up any offensive plays that the Chaos Dwarves are bringing, so that top-heavy roster may allow for Roger Def to create an opening through the sidelines and get the victory he needs to bounce back. Our second matchup, we're seeing the Bosses of Sauce going up against the Leg Lickers. Neither of these beasts are going to be tamed, but with Blonde Cow missing an ogre for this match, he is going to be hard-pressed to perform any kind of wall against these blodging ladies. Outworn Ideas versus Fluffy Greens is going to be our third match, and you know this is going to be a fist fight. Much like Omega Alpha, the Khemri are a top-heavy team, relying on those Tomb Guards as opposed to the well-rounded Orcs. Only time will tell who will come out on top for that match. With our upcoming fourth match, if you thought the fragile blood marks were looking indestructible before, well, that illusion is most likely going to be shattered as they face off against How Not to Contain Lizards. And you know the Lizards will be breaking everything they can get their hands on to run rampant on the pitch. But with only 4 skinks on the roster, there is always the chance that any of them being taken off the field will greatly hinder Pirate Joe's chances of winning the match. Match 5 is the Bouncing Warriors versus the Jailhouse Rockers, and even after that crippling blow to his Blitzers, Black Templar and his team should be able to easily topple over the coachless Kislev. Match 6, we have the former Elven coach Malt and the godlike Puns facing off against the Slaaneshi Elves. This match may very well come down to who understands the elves better, Malt and his ability to exploit the elves' weaknesses, or Rompke's skill at utilizing their strengths. Match 7 is Humans vs Dwarves, as after an easy bout against Kislev before, it is time to see what the humans are truly capable of. Even with a Strength 4 Blitzer and Guard on another, it is still going to be no easy feat to defeat the Dwarves at their own game. Time will tell if Galentio can use his team's speed to secure a victory. And finally, Match 8 with Nuclear Winters trying to break the Kratos cage. You can never underestimate a werewolf, and with the Dark Elves still gathering momentum in this season, it's entirely possible for the Necromantic to bring them to a screeching halt. So stay tuned and catch everything here live on Cabal Vision. This show is still a work in progress, but I thank you one and all for taking time to enjoy this game we all love, Blood Bowl. Have a good night.